This is Scot Conway, Ph.D, J.D, martial arts master with mothersraisingsons.com. Now, in this part, you're going to see another example of how a martial arts insight really helps deconstruct this bizarre idea that some of these boys get, honestly, from a whole bunch of men and sometimes women that don't have any idea what healthy masculinity is. And by the way, it isn't even necessary that the woman has an unhealthy view. But if all the boy knows is, well, I see what femininity is, and especially even if his mother is a fantastic example, says, but I'm not sure what masculinity is. And he looks at mom, says, okay, mom's a great example of a woman, so if I do the opposite of mom, then that must be masculine, because that's feminine. This must be masculine. The opposite must be masculine. That is not what it is. Let's take a listen to the next clip.
Within their peer group culture, each of them is posturing based on how the other boys are posturing, and what they end up missing is what they each really want, which is just that closeness.
Now on this part, do men want closeness? Yes, men want closeness. Male closeness is different than female closeness, and a lot of men want closeness with other women, not just with other men. So it is different. The bizarre thing is they kind of get this idea that they have to be alone, as evidenced in this next clip.
In good times, guys are like really close to each other, but when things get a little bit worse, you're on your own.
Now, first off, that's not true. That's a factor of having people who are withdrawing, they're hiding from problems. Just think about this. Do men step up and work together when just things go bad? Of course they do. Men do that all the time. If lightning strikes my house and blows a hole in the roof in the middle of a rainstorm, who do you suppose is going to be up there? If a whole bunch of couples come, say 5 couples come, and we got 5 men, and we've got 5 women, and we say, okay, there's a hole blown in the roof. Who, honestly, do you expect is supposed to go up on that roof and take care of that problem? Most people would not be at all surprised if all 5 men are up on that roof in that rainstorm trying to get the tarp secured and trying to get that handled, while all 5 women go inside. It would be considered kind of a guy thing. Suppose you flip that around. What if the women got sent up on the roof? The women said, okay, ladies, we're the women of the house. We're the mothers in this family. Let's get up on that roof and get this taken care of. And the guys go inside and they make some food for everybody, and they make some hot tea so people can warm up after coming in, after being off of the roof. They make sure that the kids are okay, and comfort any children that might be scared because lightning hit the roof. I mean, would anybody find that a little bit incongruent? I think most people would. Men and women would. Now, if there's a mix-up on the roof, I don't think anyone would have a problem with that. But if all the men said, well, hey, ladies, that's a woman thing, it's the house, it's the family, you go take care of that. We're going to go in and make sure the kids are okay, and we'll have some food waiting for you when you're done. We wouldn't expect that. That would just kind of fly in the face of our internalized intuitive ideas of masculinity and femininity. Guys do team up. Guys team up when there's problems to solve. Guys work together. Guys partner in business. Guys team up on teams. This idea that just got put in this tiny little clip that when things go bad, you're on your own, that is not how men work. That's not how healthy men work. Healthy men have relationships. Healthy men rally to one another's side to help with the problems. Now, whether you're qualified to help with the problem, that might be a completely separate thing. But guys don't get left alone just because things are going bad. That even when things are going good, some of those guys alienate when things are going good. If it's like a competitive thing, a lot of guys are competitive. And if you're doing a lot better than me, in some cases, an unhealthy man, they'll pull back from you because they're like, I don't want to look bad next to you. So this rallying together or the separating, that has nothing to do with whether things are going good or going bad. It has more to do with how does it make me feel when I'm around you. And that's a human thing. Men do that, women do that. It just tends to show up a little bit differently.
From middle school, I had 4 really close friends. But once I kind of went into high school, I struggle finding people I can talk to because I feel like I'm not supposed to get help.
Now, think about this. I feel I'm not supposed to get help. Where does this come from? Now, I mentioned the martial arts earlier. I'm a martial arts master. When I'm recording this video, I'm an 8th degree black belt. That's the highest rank I'm allowed to have for some of my age and my martial arts style. Just recently, I had a matchup with someone who In high school, he was a state level wrestler. He's also done boxing. He's been a cage fighter in Japan. I mean, this guy's got some skill. He's stronger than me. He's younger than me. I'm 48 years old right now. You know, he's in his 20s. He's in shape. He's a Marine. He's a captain of the Marine Corps grappling team. And I'm matching up with this kid. And I can take him. And I can take him, honestly, without that much effort because of the skills that I have. So that's kind of a little bit about who I am. But you know what? There's stuff I can't do anything about. Suppose, you know, this kid makes a couple of phone calls. He gets a Marine Corps recon team to come after me. Does it matter how good I am? No, it doesn't. I'm not going to take these guys. Any warrior knows there are fights that you can fight alone, and there are times you've got to have a team. You've got to have someone watching your back. There's times you need a commando unit. 4 to 8 people, maybe a dozen people all working together. There's times you need an army. I mean, we get kind of this Rambo ideal from, you know, the Sylvester Stallone movies. You got to be able to do it by yourself and handle the whole army. Kind of forgetting the idea that there's a whole bunch of men on the other side of that too. And obviously we can't all be doing that. And sometimes that just doesn't occur because we don't have a healthy model and because we don't know what we're doing. But the warrior mentality, and I had this discussion because some guy I knew, he had this problem and he's trying to go it all by himself. When he finally came to me for help, it was almost too late. If he had waited another 60 days, he would have lost his house and everything just would have just collapsed. Unfortunately, he came to me at the time I had the ability to help, and we rallied together, and I explained to him, this is the warrior mentality. Warriors understand when it is a battle you should not fight. Warriors understand when there's something you have to have a team. You have to have a man at your side. That you have to have companions. You have to have an adventuring party to go through this adventure. That maybe you're the dragon slayer, you can draw your sword and charge in the battle all by yourself. Maybe you need a commando unit. You need a team of people. You're not going to go on the football field and beat a team all by yourself, no matter how good you are. You got to have a team. And sometimes it's an army level thing that no one person can do this. You need a movement. You need a lot of people. You need a big company, your whole division, your whole corporation to kind of come together for these things to happen. Warriors know that. Authentically masculine men who have heroic masculinity, who know what it's like to be knightly, who know what it's like to have that initiative energy and that inviting energy so that they're complete and unleashed. Those men get this. This whole idea that you got to be by yourself, you got to do it alone, that's not masculinity. That's just what they absorb because they tend to see women kind of getting together and stuff, and they talk about the problems. Well, the masculinity must be we don't get together. We don't talk about our problems. We just need to teach it right. And the people who are promoting this video, they're going to flip it around, and they're going to make the opposite problem. They're going to reverse the thing. There's a saying I have sometimes. You could crash into the wall on your left or pitch it in the ditch on your right. We don't want to be crashing into walls. We don't want to be diving into ditches. We want to drive down this road in the right and healthy way, and so often we overcorrect. It's a whole pendulum going back and forth, and we need to get it on track. This is Scot Conway, Ph.D., J.D., Master Martial Arts for MothersRaisingSons.com.